Welcome in. Wow. Woo-hoo. Boy, what a game. What a game. My name is Farzin Vasugian. Welcome to this episode of the Chiefs Zone podcast. Breaking news, the Chiefs won another close game. What do you know? This one, of course, has a different feel to it. Yeah, the Chiefs won. They're 4-0. But this did come with some drama and some really bad news involving Rashee Rice and his injury situation there. So right now, there are a lot of question marks. This is kind of a mixed bag win right now, if we're being completely honest here. There's a lot to go over tonight, and I want to hear from all of you. I'll post the link for you guys to call in shortly. I know a lot of you guys are going to have a lot to say, and hey, we'll do this all day. I've got a lot of things to say. I know you guys have a lot of things to say. There's a lot to get into here on tonight's episode of the Chiefs Zone podcast. Want to quickly let you know this podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Hey, the Chiefs have Monday Night Football coming up. You know what else is going on? Royals playoff baseball also coming up, and SeatGeek is the place to go for your sports ticketing needs. And if you're a new SeatGeek customer, you can use my promo code FARZINE, and you will save $20 off your first purchase from SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek.com, pick your tickets, and new customers can enter my promo code FARZINE at checkout and save $20 off their first purchase from SeatGeek. All right. Wow. Oh boy. Let's understand something here. This was not a pretty win. No, this was a very ugly win. And I'm okay with ugly wins because it's a win at the end of the day. The Chargers started off 10-0 in the first quarter, and they did not score a single point the remainder of the game. Nothing in the second quarter, nothing in the third quarter, fourth quarter, nada, zilch. Chiefs defense all over the Chargers, including a huge fourth down stop in the red zone to keep the Chargers out of the end zone and not allow any points. And by the way, for the second time this season, what do the Chiefs do? They get a third down sack to force their opponents to punt. They did it against the Bengals, and now they did it against the Chargers. And that was the last time those guys saw the football in that game. Bengals never saw the football again. Harrison Butker kicked that game winner to win it for the Chiefs. And in this game, all Justin Herbert could do was watch. And the Chiefs, unlike last week, what do? They put their opponents away. So this did not come down to the final minute like it has in the last three games. The Chiefs actually came together offensively and put away the Chargers. That nice first down pass to Xavier Worthy. I was told by a certain cornerback that all he can do is run straight vertically. That's all he can do, which he's really good at doing. But he did some other things in this game other than running straight. He actually made some key catches in this game that involved running not vertically. So Xavier Worthy can do a lot more than just that. And look, I think Xavier Worthy, this is now the time for you to grow up and play like a grown-ass man. That rookie tag is going to come off you because Rashee Rice is out, Hollywood Brown's out, Isaiah Pacheco's out. Isaiah Pacheco's a running back, of course, but my point is all these injuries just keep adding up. No excuses, though. We saw it last year with the Browns and the Bengals. Both of their starting quarterbacks go down. The Browns go through a carousel of quarterbacks, and they both made it. Well, the Browns made it to the playoffs. Bengals came very close. So injuries are just not an excuse. You're seeing a lot of teams today, a lot of top-tier teams deal with injuries right now. The Rams had two great wideouts out. The 49ers. I mean, you're seeing some teams out there not have an easy go at it with these injuries. I can't recall a time where top tier teams were dealing with these kinds of injuries. And the Chiefs, boy, they came up. And listen, yeah, the Chargers were missing some players in this one, but so have the Chiefs. Chiefs were without Isaiah Pacheco. They were without Hollywood Brown. They lost Rashee Rice essentially at the beginning of the game. I mean, the Chiefs they had to use Sky Moore in this game. And I don't think I need to go over Sky Moore and how all of Chiefs Kingdom feels about him. Everyone knows what that is all about. Like, no one likes him. I get it. But you had no one to go to. So you had to use him in this game. That's how difficult of a game this was. And boy, the guys who were on the field, they stepped up. You know who else stepped up today? This guy who was allegedly washed up. He's distracted by all the movies and TV shows and commercials and his super duper famous girlfriend and all the off-season traveling he did with her. And that's a big distraction. And therefore, he's never going to be good ever again. Well, he kicked ass in this game today. 7 catches for 89 yards in this one. Travis Kelce stepped up in this game. So, and what did Jim Nantz say at the end of the broadcast? He said, people are going to have to troll somebody else. Can't be Kelce this week. So, yeah. What do the Chiefs do? They do such a good job of something. Oh, yeah. They take a big shit on all of these narratives that people just love to create. Remember last year, all that bullshit about, oh, Mahomes has never played a road playoff game before. I mean, listen, I get it. The playoffs are not the regular season, but people were acting like Mahomes has never played a football game before. And then what do the Chiefs do? They go on the road, they beat Buffalo. They go on the road, they beat Baltimore. They overcome a 10-point deficit against the 49ers. Speaking of 10-point deficits, let's read another really cool stat. You guys ready for this one? Patrick Mahomes is 12-0 in his career when trailing by exactly 10 points in the regular season and the playoffs. Obviously, that includes the 3 Super Bowl wins against the 49ers, both 49ers Super Bowls, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So, man, you just cannot write off this Chiefs team. Do they get it every single time? No, they don't. But, man, you cannot write this team off. You can never write off Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You just can't. Patrick Mahomes, I'll say this. He's still got to work on his decision-making, but after that interception and that injury to Rashee Rice, Patrick Mahomes played great. I know it doesn't show it on the stat sheet and all of that stuff, but, man, Patrick Mahomes had some zip on the football. He looked very confident throwing in tight circles right there. I mean, he had absolutely little room in certain spots where he was throwing the football and getting it to Travis Kelce, to Noah Gray. I mean, he had no issues getting it out there. Got Xavier Worthy involved. A couple of big catches in the second half, including the game-sealing catch to put away the Chargers and get a couple of QB kneels to win the game. By the way, I want to go back to the defense, because what did I tell you guys on Wednesday's podcast? They have to stop the run. If they want to win this football game, they have to stop J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins came into the NFL with 7.4 yards per carry, averaging running the football. That is the best in the NFL. What did J.K. Dobbins average in this game? 2.3 yards. The Chiefs might have the best run defense in the NFL right now. Maybe not statistically, and we got to wait for all that to be updated and wait for all of week 4 to be done. But is there a run defense that's really stepped up more than Kansas City has this season? I mean, Derrick Henry, what did he do against Kansas City outside of that opening drive in week 1? What did Bijan Robinson do? What did J.K. Dobbins do? Those guys didn't really do much against Kansas City's defense. Kansas City's rush defense might be one of the best in the... Oh, Robert has the best comment. And guys, I know sarcasm. You know what's really difficult about this subject is I can be a smartass. So I'll say certain things, and sarcasm does not get picked up very well. So just a disclaimer here. Robert's being sarcastic, but he says, I can't believe the refs allowed our defense to get a turnover on downs late. Oh, yeah. What was the call? The missed call that Bolton didn't touch him, or maybe he did. I don't know. It doesn't look like he touched him, but hey, that's on the Chargers for not challenging that. You have challenges for a reason here. But yeah, this Chiefs defense really stepped up. Kareem Hunt looked good. Kareem Hunt got involved a lot more than I thought he was going to in this game. 14 carries, 69 yards, averaging almost 5 yards a pop. Samaje Perine got the touchdown there to close things out and give the Chiefs a lead, and the Chiefs won the football game at that point. Kareem Hunt stepped up. Travis Kelce stepped up. Xavier Worthy made that big play vertically to get that nice 54-yard score there. Boy, when you needed it, some guys really pulled through for the Chiefs. Carson Steele, let me just address this. What do you do with him? I'll tell you what, man, Kareem Hunt's known for taking really good care of the football. Kareem Hunt got beat up a lot. And I think this was kind of a tough game for Kareem Hunt because he had not he had not been hit much until today. He has not practiced in an offseason. He didn't have a preseason. This was his first football game since he was last playing for the Browns. So the way I look at it with Kareem Hunt, he got hit around quite a bit, and he still stood right up and really got in their faces in this game. Kareem Hunt looked like he's the running back that's had a better season than J.K. Dobbins. And this was his first game. Dobbins was third in the NFL in rushing yards coming into this game. The Chiefs dominated at the line of scrimmage today. Offensive tackles still do need to work, but to go back to Carson Steele, dude, I think Carson Steele needs to spend a day with Kareem Hunt, and Kareem Hunt just needs to teach him all the secrets of taking care of the football because, and I get it, he's a rookie, but man, right now, I don't think you can really talk about, oh, this person's a rookie, this person's inexperienced or whatever. There's no room for error for this football team. And I'm not trying to sound like they're 0-4 because they're 4-0 right now, but there are some serious concerns about what this Chiefs team is going to look like in the near future and long-term as well for the remainder of the season because of all these injuries just keep adding up. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like we're going to see Rashee Rice anytime soon. Is it a season ender? We don't know yet. I just want to be very careful on that because we don't have any confirmation of that, but they do. The Andy Reid did say at halftime, it does not look very good. It does not look very good. Let me see what the third down stats were because I feel like the Chiefs really came through. 9 of 16 on third down. Tony Romo pointed this out during the game, how the Chiefs were 21st in the league coming into this game in third downs. Boy, they played much better on third down, 9 of 16. Meanwhile, they held the Chargers to 4 of 13. The Chiefs have played really damn well on third and fourth down defensively. I mean, they've really shut down opposing teams. And they've got a Saints team that looked really hot the first 2 weeks, and now they've been pretty bad the past couple of games. And that's going to be very interesting to see Monday Night Football, which Saints team we're going to get, especially when you consider Kansas City's offense right now. They're missing some pieces. So we're going to see what it looks like on Monday Night Football, 8 days away. Hey, if you guys want to call into the podcast, I am commenting with the link right now. There you go. It should be there. Let me pin it on my end. If I can see the comment on my end. There it is. I want you guys to call in. There, I pinned the comment there. So hopefully it's on top for those who come in afterwards. But I'll keep commenting with the link as we go on throughout the show. Yeah, listen, I'm seeing your guys' comments about Kareem Hunt and his possibility or lack thereof of returning this season. I don't want to jump to conclusions because I'm not a doctor. I'm not the one doing the evaluations. But I would not be surprised if that was the case. I just want to be cautious and careful of all that stuff, especially in other players' health. But it is a very tough pill to swallow, man. He was playing really damn well. Rashee Rice coming into this game was top 3 in the NFL in receptions, receiving yards, yards after the catch, and first down receptions. And I don't know if we're going to see him again. I don't know. Defense is playing really well. Statistically, the defense was not looking good the first couple of weeks, and now they've really stepped up. They've really tried. I want to say the midway point of the Bengals game in week 2, that is where the tides really started to turn for the defense. They have played great. They're looking like last year's defense. This Chiefs offense, unfortunately, they just reverted back to last year's offense. What was last year's offense about? Solid running game, which, Kareem Hunt so far has provided that. You got your tight end Kelsey. He's back. People wrote him off, but no, he's back. And your best wide receiver last year was a rookie wide receiver. That is exactly the case right now. Your best wide receiver right now for the Chiefs is a rookie wide receiver. Mike says we need to trade for a receiver before the deadline. Okay, I knew this was going to come up. And I'm just going to say this right now. And by the way, the link should be on there for you guys to call in. So please call in and let me know your thoughts on today's game. What questions you have, all of that good stuff, because there's a lot to get into here. No one's trading with the Chiefs, guys. Nobody. I saw someone say, the Raiders are not sending Devontae Adams to a division rival. No. Oh, what about T. Higgins? No, the Bengals, they're not a division rival, but they are a conference rival. And they won today, but do people really think the Bengals are going to get things going? I mean, they didn't play a great Panthers team today, and it looked close. And look, all you can do is play who's on your schedule, and all you can do is try to win. And they did exactly that. But I don't think anyone's really holding their breath on the Bengals turning things around this season. They're just not. I mean, Andy Dalton, he just had one good game against the Raiders. Not really that impressive. Well, it was nice for him. Good moment for him, but come on. As far as other wide receivers out there, I don't know who the Chiefs are going to trade with. Nobody's trading with the Chiefs. Everybody is tired of the Chiefs winning. All of the 31 other NFL teams out there, they don't want to see the Chiefs win another game, another Super Bowl. That no one wants to see them win another Super Bowl unless you're a Chiefs fan. Nobody does. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to go and get help at the wide receiver position, it's going to have to come through free agency. Who is available? Well, here is the list of guys. Michael Thomas, Hunter Renfrow, Corey Davis, Julio Jones, Alex Erickson, Lynn Bowden, Randall Cobb, Richie James, forward chief right there, Marquez Callaway, Chase Claypool, James Washington, Jakeem Grant, Willie Snead, Damiere Byrd, Russell Gage, Philip Dorsett, former chief Doris Fountain, Isaiah McKenzie, Dante Pettis, and Robbie Chosen. Those are your available wide receivers right now. I mean, yeah, there's a couple names there. Michael Thomas and Julio Jones, but they're also up there in age. Look, I've always said, you know, if these guys are good, why are they available? Not saying they've got nothing left in the tank. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe they can come in and contribute in Andy Reid's offense. I don't know. But we saw this last year when the Chiefs wide receivers were struggling. It wasn't injuries, it was drops. And people, including me, were calling for the team to sign a wide receiver. And they weren't. They weren't doing that. They stuck with who they had. Andy Reid's talking right now, but I can't get the audio to this, so I apologize. But yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot of names right now at the wide receiver position, and the Chiefs stuck with who they had last year. If Frayne says Antonio Brown, I suppose he's available. He's definitely available. But yeah, no one's trading with the Chiefs, guys. No one's trading with the Chiefs. Nobody. And you know what? If I was one of the 31 NFL general managers, okay, obviously the AFC West, I mean, no one in the AFC West is going to send a good wide receiver to the Chiefs. So, okay, you get the idea though. But the 31 other teams, they're not. They're going to say, screw you. You have issues? Deal with it. I would do the same thing if I was any of the other GMs in the NFL. I'm not trading with the Chiefs. Unless you're going to give Chris Jones or Nick Bolton. I mean, it's got to be one of those guys. Yeah, Dan, I listen, I know we are 4-0. I said that at the beginning of the podcast. I don't want to make it sound like we're 0-4, but if we're being realistic here, there are some concerns. And listen, the Chiefs are going to lose games. No one's going undefeated. It's hard to do. But I think when you look at the Chiefs right now, they're back to last year, essentially. The defense looks similar to how it looked last year, and the offense, they've got some question marks. The offense is in a very different situation now, though. But I'm just saying in terms of how it looks on paper right now, you have last year's offense back. That's not what you want. That is not what you want at all. The good news is the drops are not really an issue. I mean, yes, there are guys who are dropping the football, but not at a consistent rate like it was last year. I mean, it's not even close to that rate. But there are valid concerns moving forward. Again, I don't know what the answer is. Are the Chiefs going to trade for someone? I mean, it would have to be a team that's really, really, really bad that doesn't give a shit about what all of the other teams are doing. They're just willing to take whatever draft compensation you're willing to give them. It would have to be one of those teams, like a team that's looking for the number one pick in the NFL draft. Who would those teams be? Let me just take a quick look at that. The only teams that might be willing to trade with the Chiefs, possibly the Jags, the Giants. I mean, obviously Malik Neighbors is not available. Maybe the Patriots, maybe the Rams, maybe the Browns. The Bengals are 1-3, but I don't think they're willing to trade anybody, especially to the Chiefs. I think they're still going to stick with who they have and try to turn it around. I mean, Miami's 1-2. Tyreek Hill. No, I'm just kidding. That's not happening. Yeah, you're not getting you're not trading with anyone. It's got to be a bottom tier team that just doesn't give a damn about what happens in the rest of the league because they're too busy trying to get their shit together. So as far as free agency goes, I read you the names, the top tier names: Thomas, Renfro, Davis, Jones, Randall Cobb, former Chief Richie James. I mean, that's who's out there. That's who's out there. Those are the guys you're gonna have to look towards right now if you want any help with this offense. Hey, if you guys want to call into the podcast, if you guys have questions, comments, whatever's on your mind, I want to hear from you guys. I just commented with the link again on YouTube and Facebook, so please don't be shy. Click on the link, turn on your camera, turn on your audio, put in your name, and call in. You'll be on hold, and I'll get you guys on here, and we'll chat it up. Let's do it. Dusty's been waiting here. Dusty,
yeah.
Yes, how are you?
Great. How about you?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
Well, I want to try to alleviate some of all of our fears. I know the injuries are starting to pile up and things of that nature. We have yet to see some of our other guys step up. I think if we go back just a couple years ago when we had Juju before we traded him off, and Belichick let him go. Yeah. I think if Juju steps up and we get to see prime Juju back, I think he'll treat us really good.
I mean, that's an option. An option. He certainly looked good. Okay, I don't want to say he looked great last week, but he did have a touchdown right after the Rice injury that happened last week. He didn't play. I mean, he played in this game, but was never targeted. So yeah, Juju's an option for sure.
Yeah, he has looked sloppy this year, and then I think Justin Ross is still out there. We haven't really played with him too much. It's like I think we're still gelling this year.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think they've yet to play their best football. And are they going to play their best football with a lot of these injuries right now? I mean, listen, it's possible. Travis Kelce stepped up. He can't be written off. Kareem Hunt looked really good in his first game back. So I think that possibility is still on the table, Dusty. I can't push back against that.
Now, guys, we could go get Kadarius back. How does that make everybody feel?
Yeah, I saw a few people think that. Yeah, him or Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
I'd be all about MVS. Now, talk about asking people to trade with us. Maybe we can con the Bills into giving us something again.
I suppose. Never doubt the Bills. Dusty, do you have anything else you wanted to add on?
As for I think with Sky Moore, I know we have our worries about Sky Moore. I honestly believe he stepped up. He steps up when the time is right, and he always seems to show up. Yeah, he floats, and he always just seems to appear out of nowhere and do us good.
All right,
and I think we can really rely on him when the time is right. Besides that, that's really all I got. But 4-0, guys, 16 more games to go. We got this.
Okay. All right. Well, Dusty, I appreciate the phone call. Appreciate it. You have a good night. Thanks for calling in. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, let me just pull up the Chiefs depth chart right now because who's available on the team even. I did see that comment someone said in the about the practice squad elevating Justin Ross. If there was ever a time for Justin Ross to get to the 53-man roster and live up to that hype, I suppose that I was really shocked that when the Chiefs cut him after the preseason, nobody went and got Justin Ross. That surprised the hell out of me. He came back to Kansas City's practice squad, and he's been sitting on Kansas City's practice squad. So you have Rice, you have Justin Watson, who I think is a good depth player for you, but last year when all the issues were going on offensively, he was one of the better wide receivers for you. You have Mecole Hardman, who I think Mecole Hardman's best year was his rookie year. Since then, he's just kind of made some flashes here and there. Yes, he's Mr. Walk-Off in the Super Bowl, but whole overall body of work, we haven't seen Mecole Hardman do much. Sky Moore, I don't really agree with Dusty on the comments of Sky Moore. I mean, what have we really seen from what's like a game that you look at Sky Moore where he helped the Chiefs to win and you're like, yeah, that one right there, that's the Sky Moore game. The only one two moments I can think of, he was part of the corn dog play, which, that's more strategic, but hey, he still did his job at the end of the day in that moment. And the other one I would say would be against the Jaguars last year in week 2, where he came away with that big reception to help close out the game. I know a lot of people are going to talk about the punt return against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, which, that was good, but that was a punt return. I'm just talking offensively on wide receivers. the Chiefs need help. Who do they have on their practice squad outside of Justin Ross? Nico Remigio, there's that name. Montrell Washington, who's got really good speed. Man, I mean, Hollywood Brown's on IR. Rashee Rice might join the IR room soon. It's not good. Now they do get Clyde Edwards-Helaire back. How does he fit into the fold? I mean, does he take Rashee Rice's spot, or do the Chiefs maybe put Carson Steele in the practice squad? I mean, I know people fell in love with Steele in the preseason, but he has not looked good. I mean, he's kind of set the Chiefs back in a couple of regular season games with those fumbles there. I know the Chiefs haven't lost, but at some point teams are going to take advantage of that. So we'll see. We'll see what the Chiefs. We'll see what the Chiefs want to do there. By the way, if you guys want to call in like Dusty did, please click on the link, turn on your camera, turn on your audio, and let's chat it up here. Daniel, you're on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, what's going on? You kind of stole my thunder because I was like, let's just bring in Ross or Remigio. I mean, Remigio looked good in the preseason, so let's just bring him up to see what he can do. I don't know if I honestly think Rice is going to be out. I mean, I don't want to play doctor as well, but speculation. Yeah, it didn't look good, and he didn't sound like it looked at halftime. But and then, yeah, put Steele back. I mean, I love Steele, but this is why they play preseason. You can be an MVP for the preseason, right? He looked great, but bring in Edwards-Helaire. He knows the offense. I would bring him in with him and Hunt, and then him, Hunt, and Pacheco. Hopefully, when Pacheco comes back, you know, we're just going to have to be a running team.
I was just going to say that, actually. I really do think that might be the team's identity offensively.
Yeah, we're just going to have to be a running team, and hopefully that will open up more for Travis Kelce. I love the fact, I mean, do I wish James didn't get suspended? Fine, but he wasn't suspended because he was playing the Chiefs. You know, I don't care what Sean Merriman says and all that.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I did my school project. I said Travis Kelce is going to have a big game, and he had a big game today. I mean, he loves going to LA. You know, it's good for the Hollywood stars, as people want to say it. You know, and I'm to the point now where I'm going to buy in. You want to say the ref stuff, whatever, because if it was anybody else's team that was winning 2 straight Super Bowls or 3 in a row, they wouldn't say much, you know?
Yeah. And listen, there was that weird like miss on the I can't remember who that receiver was, but he was kind of rolling to a first down. I mean, they missed that.
Yeah.
But it's like, Palmer, you know, it wasn't like the Chargers should have challenged that. So, you know, people can just simmer down a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, look, we're 4-0. We're not playing our great football. But hey, a win's a win. And let's go on to Monday night. And I wrote in a comment earlier, and I was mad when I saw the schedule and it was week 6 bye. But man, I'm thankful we got a week 6 bye coming up. Daniel, we can rest and get our starters back.
I'm with you, man. I actually said this recently. I know in the offseason when the schedule came out, a lot of people weren't happy about the timing of the bye. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I think given the injuries, and unfortunately they're not stopping. And look, we all know how it works. It just gets worse as the season goes on because no one's ever going to be 100% late in the year. I think this is actually a great time to have the bye week right now with the situation the Chiefs are at.
So, anyways, keep up the good work, man.
Thanks. All right, appreciate you, Daniel. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, I'm glad they have the bye. And he said something. He said I stole his thunder. He stole my thunder. But I was actually going to bring it up. I do think the Chiefs' identity might be where they run the ball more. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he will be available to come back. Is he going to? We don't know 100% about that yet. We'll have to wait and see there. Dan's asking, why are we not talking about Juwan Taylor's penalty? I mean, we didn't necessarily talk about the penalties. I did mention the offensive tackles. They definitely do need to play better. I said this at halftime, but I'll say it again. I don't like to jump to conclusions after 2 games or even 1 season about a signing or a draft pick. I like to wait a little bit. I think enough time has passed to where we can say that's just not a good signing by the Chiefs. Brett Veach, he's done a lot of great things, but he's also made a few mistakes. Juwan Taylor is one of them. Juwan Taylor is for sure one of the mistakes that the Chiefs have made. Not really a good signing there. And I don't know what the solution is. I would be more concerned about offensive tackle than wide receiver to an extent. The Chiefs need to give Patrick Mahomes more time, and some of the play calling is just really bad too. Like on 3rd and long, they're going to blitz. They're going to blitz, and Mahomes, he got sacked on one of them. Got sacked 3 times in this game, and man, you got to come up with a better play call there. What do you do? And I'll wait for the all 22, but it just didn't seem like it seemed like you made all the receivers go down the field like it's a Hail Mary or something. They're going to send the house on your MVP quarterback. Throw it to the side and make the wide receiver work a little bit. And listen, if they're blitzing, there's probably not many defenders that they have to work up against, and you can go out there and get the first down. So I don't know. Some of the play calling was a little off today. Oh, by the way, somebody was asking, am I wearing a Eric Berry jersey or a Kareem Hunt jersey? It is Eric Berry. It's Eric Berry, but it's 29. You guys can't see the back of the jersey. I never thought I'd be wearing this jersey again, but I said, hey, why not? Let's go and sport the number 29. Bob, you are on the Chiefs Zone podcast. How are you, Bob?
Hey, Fars, I'm real good, man. I'll tell you, I know that, losing Rice was going to be a big blow to us, but because he was tearing things up, man.
Yeah.
But I think the key to the whole thing here is Andy has got so much experience, man. He's keeping his cool, and they kept us grounded. And we made some mistakes at our tackles and some pity penalties, but for the most part, man, that defense lit it up today. Kareem Hunt had a big hand into it, and Kelsey's back, so we're making progress.
Yeah.
Made one giant mistake early on, and that hurt his feelings more than anything. But man, he got his shit together the rest of the way.
I agree with you. I do think the offense looked more poised. You don't see it on the stat sheet nor on the scoreboard, but after that interception and the 3-and-out that happened after that, I do feel like the Chiefs offense played. They were more sharp for sure. I do agree.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think I would have gave Hunt the ball down there, after he went all the way down to the goal line, and then
me too.
Ryan, but that would have gave him a big boost. I'm just happy to have him back. I think he's a good back. We need him at the most important time right now, because I'm going to lean on the run quite a bit. And then, we got some talent, man. We still got talent here on this field, but I don't know why we're not in a panic mode. We have a lot of talent. We don't need to go out and get nobody. Man, injuries across the league is out. I mean, it's just crazy right now.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many injuries to key players, man.
To top tier teams.
Yeah. I mean, so and for us to continue winning, man, I'm tickled to death, man. I mean, this looked gloom and doom early on. And they turned it around, got their shit together and put a W on the board, man. So, I mean, I gotta say I'm happy with it right now, man.
Yeah, I'm really happy too. All things considered, especially with how things started off. Those first 5 snaps, maybe the worst 5 snaps in Chiefs history, especially to start off a game, and they found a way to win.
Hey, I agree totally. Anyway, good to be with you, man. And I'll turn it over to somebody else, man.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Appreciate those who've called in so far. If you want to call into the podcast, like Bob and several other people who've done so far today, please. I just commented with the link right there, so feel free to click on the link, turn on your video and your audio, put in your name, and let's chat it up. Okay, so that's interesting. That's the second person to call in and say that this might be a running football team, which is not ideal considering that, you went out there and you got these new receivers and you have a good tight end, but unfortunately things change. You have all these injuries that are just piling up. And right now, I do feel like this Chiefs team, they do a good job of running the football. This was Kareem Hunt's first game back. Kareem Hunt did not really have a good ending with the Cleveland Browns. I'll pull up the stats, but I think his last year with the Browns, he was averaging 3.3 yards per carry. No, he was averaging 3 yards per carry, 3.8 yards per carry in 2022. In 2021, he ran the ball 78 times, so not much, but averaged 4.9 yards per carry. So, but that was a couple of years ago. When he's had more than 120 rushes, he's averaging less than 4 yards a carry, almost less than 3 yards a carry last season. So, it has definitely changed for Kareem Hunt. Obviously, coming into Kansas City, looking really good so far in his first game. How does he look moving forward? And by the way, this Chargers defense is pretty good. I know they were banged up on both sides of the ball. They weren't really missing anyone that was a key piece to their run defense. Joey Bosa, more known for his abilities as an edge rusher and getting after quarterbacks. I mean, that's all you were missing. And Kareem Hunt still played really well against a very good defense. And to go back to Bob's point about how things started, the Chargers got off to a 10-0 start, and the Chiefs scored 17 unanswered points to win. So I'm good with what the Chiefs did in this football game and how they looked. All things considered. And again, I want to go back to J.K. Dobbins, because for those of you who missed it, J.K. Dobbins was third in the NFL in rushing yards coming into this game, and had the best yard per carry averaging 7.4 yards per run. He only ran for 32 yards and averaged 2.3 yards per carry. I mean, listen, the ideal magic number for a running back is to get at least 4.0 yards per carry. Couldn't even get 3 yards a carry against the Chiefs. Had a nice little catch at one point. What was it, on the screenplay there? That was it. That was the only good play J.K. Dobbins had against the Chiefs. He had a 14-yard catch and run and then a 12-yard run. So this guy didn't really do much against Kansas City. And this Chiefs defense, again, stepping up. For the second time this year, the final offensive snap for the opposing team was when they got sacked. In week 2, Shamari Connor went after Joe Burrow. And in this game, Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, I see they credited the full sack to Chris Jones. I have a feeling Chris Jones is going to meet fate again, and they're going to take away half of a sack and split it with Karlaftis. Last time they took the half a sack away and they gave the full sack to Karlaftis. I think they're going to split it when the statisticians review this game. But Chris Jones, for now, he was credited with that big sack in the end there, and the Chargers never got the ball back. I was actually very, very surprised they punted. I know it was 4th and forever at that point, but considering, the game's on the line here, folks, you only had one timeout because you did a great job of burning all your timeouts early. It was 4th and 15 at the 40. Well, that's not like the worst position in the world with the game on the line, by the way. I think they should have gone for it. I think it was a mistake to give the ball back. Look, I know last week Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they unfortunately disappointed us by having a 3-and-out, but you still cannot give back the ball to Mahomes with the game on the line. That was a horrible decision. That was just dumb. That was flat out dumb. Open lines right now. Nobody's on hold. So if you guys have any thoughts, questions, you guys want to speak your mind, got a lot to say, hey, phone lines are open right now. So I just commented with the link again. Let me know what's on your mind, and let's chat it up. So for those who are just coming in late, Andy Reid did say that Rashee Rice is going to have an MRI tomorrow morning. So by the time Andy Reid does his press conference on Monday around 12 o'clock, he is going to possibly give us an update, unless an insider gets the scoop there. But yeah, it's out looking good for him. Hollywood Brown's out. Rashee Rice is out. Could the Chiefs end up being a run-first team? They might end up being that type of football team. That's what the Chiefs might turn into. Is that ideal when your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, when Travis Kelce is your tight end? That doesn't mean they're not going to throw the football ever again. I think a lot of times when you hear a team is run heavy or pass heavy, they think that they're never going to do the other. Well, of course, they're still going to mix things up, but I think in general, right now, this is a Chiefs team that needs to establish an identity because unfortunately their identity is they keep running into big time injuries week after week. First, it was the news about Hollywood Brown and then Isaiah Pacheco, and now with Rashee Rice. Right now, you're in a rough spot. And I think when you look at your running back situation, I would imagine Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Carson Steele are going to swap. Obviously, you have to wait and see if Carson Steele is going to clear waivers. Maybe someone picks up. Maybe the Chiefs still keep Carson Steele, but they don't give him the ball as much, and they want to use him more as a blocking fullback, kind of like a Tony Richardson type of guy, maybe like an Anthony Sherman type of football player. Because I've always compared the guy to Kimball Anders, given how he looked in the preseason. But again, that is the preseason. And we know the preseason is a much different deal than the regular season. And unfortunately, he has not carried that over. Okay, so we do have a little bit of an update here. So the fear is that Rashee Rice tore his ACL. That is not an official word. That is just a report. That is coming from Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report. And if I know anything about Jordan Schultz, this guy might be one of the more accurate insiders out there. He seems to be getting a lot more of the scoops before Schefter and Rappaport and some of the other insiders out there. So Jordan Schultz does have a really good track record of this kind of stuff here. So unfortunately, that is a season ender. That sucks because this guy was kicking ass. Would now be a good time to suspend him? Okay, terrible joke. Too soon. I'm sorry. Someone had to say it. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind if they handed that suspension out now. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, suspend him. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. But yeah, I mean, that's the other thing you got to consider because he's going to miss the rest of the season. And then he's going to start off next year with a suspension. So he's going to be out for quite some time. He'll be out for a while. He will be out for a while. That's unfortunate there. Yeah, you never want to lose a guy like that, but what can you do? That's the way things work sometimes. But hey, no excuses. Every team deals with injuries, and you're seeing top tier teams deal with injuries. I've said this quite a lot as the season's gone along. So at the end of the day, if you're the Chiefs, you gotta step it up. We saw it last year at the quarterback position. The Browns made the playoffs despite going through a convention of quarterbacks, and the Bengals, when people wrote them off, they still came very close, finished above 500 in a very tough division. So I think if you're the Chiefs, you still find a way to go out there and play with whoever you have. Next man up. That's how it works in the NFL. I've said, what have I said many, many times? Injuries are part of sports in a very unforgiving way. That's the way it works. Travis, you're on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, Travis?
Hey, Fars, love the stuff. Just give you a shout out. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
My take on this is we have to be honest about this. There's a strong likelihood Rice is out for the year.
Yeah.
And with his pending suspension probably going to take effect next season.
Likely, yeah.
We're going to be gone without him for a while. So this talk about going to a run-first team, I think that's probably going to be the best choice for a while, unless we just throw darts at the board at receiver and see what sticks. I mean, because Jawan Taylor, in my opinion, he's not a good pass blocker. He's made that very clear.
Yeah.
But he's not terrible as a run blocker.
I'm with you.
He's not. That's just my 2 cents. That's all I got. So enjoy the stuff, man.
All right, appreciate it, Travis. Thanks for calling in, man. He kind of does remind me of Orlando Brown, where Orlando Brown's not a good pass blocker, but is a very, very good run blocker. That is how he excelled in Kansas City, and he's kind of looking the same way in Cincinnati. So I do think Jawan Taylor is kind of like that, where this is someone where I think you can rely on him more in running situations. I know Kareem Hunt's numbers might be inflated a little bit if you want to nitpick here and there, because on second and 20, the Chiefs ran a draw play with him, and that did throw off the defense. They were expecting a big pass, and he was able to get a nice little run there. In fact, I think that was his longest run of the game of 10 yards. He didn't necessarily have like a breakthrough run in this game at any point. Excuse me. But he averaged almost 5 yards a carry. For your first game back, I think that's a great start for Kareem Hunt. He didn't look like a guy who was still struggling with his hernia surgery or any of that stuff. That is, he looked like the Kareem Hunt of old. Just didn't get as many opportunities because it's his first game back. Got more opportunities than I expected, and I think a big part of that has to do with Carson Steele and that fumble he had there. So, yeah, we'll see. Carson Steele, is he going to still be on the 53-man roster? Are they going to waive him and possibly bring him back to the practice squad? I don't know. Or do they just transition him to fullback and have him focus more primarily as a blocker than a rusher? That is a possible scenario there. That's for the Chiefs to figure out. I'm just looking right now on the roster, because if the Chiefs choose to bring Clyde Edwards-Helaire back from IR, who do you swap spots with? It could be Rashee Rice to at least start off. But I don't know who you're really going to swap spots with, because I think they like Samaje Perine and want to keep him there. I mean, this is a veteran who does a good job of taking care of the football, kind of does do a lot of the Jerick McKinnon things. He's a bigger he's got a bigger build than Jerick McKinnon, but I think the Chiefs like that style of running back in Samaje Perine. I don't know. I think either Carson Steele or listen, Rashee Rice is going on IR. But does Carson Steele also get removed from the main roster? Do you take out a defensive guy? Maybe. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't think the Chiefs want to go that route. That is possible. So those are the possible scenarios for the Chiefs as they look ahead, and there are decisions to be made for sure. Leo says Sky Moore. Yeah, that's not really the worst idea in the world. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, it's a good call there. I was going to read something here, but I can't find it. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know. I was looking for something and I just completely lost track of it. But there are certainly some decisions that need to be made. But hey, Chiefs have a little bit of time to figure it all out. They are 8 days away from playing the Saints on Monday Night Football. We will have a press conference from Andy Reid, I would assume tomorrow. Tuesday, they'll have a get together. I don't know if they're going to practice or if it's going to be something short or walkthrough, that kind of thing. Wednesday, the Chiefs will be off. So we will not do a Chiefs Zone podcast on Wednesday. Thursday will be where they start doing the install. That'll be their first practice. So we'll do the Chiefs Zone podcast on Thursday. We'll still have a podcast tomorrow evening. So don't forget about that. We'll do the Red Friday live chat like we do each and every single Red Friday. And then Monday will be game day. So obviously things are much different. Saturday will be the day where we get the final injury report. And we'll see what the Chiefs do with their rosters. Sunday is when they'll probably do the final move and officially put Rashee Rice on IR. They kind of tend to wait on those things a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. 4-0, maybe not the best win in Chiefs history. Certainly some drama and some bad news that came with this win. But the Chiefs found a way after a really rough start there. 4-0. They've got a nice 3-game lead on the Chargers in the AFC West, who are right now second place in the division. And there are some things to look at moving forward here. I'm sure we'll get some questions answered tomorrow when we do the Chiefs Zone podcast tomorrow evening. So make sure you guys join me for that. My name is Farzin Vasugian. Appreciate all of you who watch live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. For those of you who called in, big thanks to you guys as well. For those of you who downloaded the archive version, whether you watched on Apple Spot or listened rather on Apple Spotify, or you watched the archive version on Facebook and YouTube, big thanks to you guys as well. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll definitely keep you guys tuned in. I'll let you guys know the latest on all of the injury news and some of the roster spots, because we're going to be seeing a lot of that in the coming days. So a lot of things to keep track of, but we'll definitely do that on social media. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Farzine, or I'm sorry, @the Chief Zone. All right, guys, my name is Farzine Vasugi, and I'm out. I'll talk to y'all later. Take